we pretty much just write the parts and kind of give it to, each other. If the drummer will write a part, or Zacky will write a part, then I'll kind of do my take on it, and start arranging it or whatever. But that's I think we pretty much arrange stuff ourselves. And so when we give him a part, we let him go. And then if he comes onto something like he misses it and we think, oh, he should have gone there, then we'll say, hey, you should try doing it this way. This is what I hear in my head. And usually it's, vice versa. It's, a guy like of that caliber is usually laying down the right thing. You just jam it out and, try a bunch of different things. He goes home and thinks about it a little bit. Then you have another jam session about it, and it just turns out from there.
Yeah, and having everyone in Avenged Sevenfold writes music. And so our drummer will come up with something, and he has a lot of, more straightforward, just, The riff by itself is pretty cool. But what makes it great is the fact that our drummer, he has such a strong beat and such good groove. And he's got a crazy, I don't even know what he's doing, but he makes that riff so exciting by just adding, and it makes the song, so important. And I think when you hear the song as a guitarist or just a fan of music, you'll be so pumped up. But the riff by itself is just a riff. Pretty cool, Might be a riff that we might have thrown away if he didn't have such a great vision for it. And he really blended the drums with it amazing. And on top of that, Synyster will throw, octaves or a cool little, almost like a spacey little solo. It's nothing, crazy technical or anything, but it's just so many flavors, and they all together, that's what makes something great.
We actually produced this one ourselves, and so it was kind of hard for us to, we got it all figured out now, but it's a difficult task, throwing away songs or throwing away parts and stuff. But as producers, you really got to just, listen to everybody, and just because it's like there's a solo in there or something that you wrote that was, the song was based on, you can't let that dissuade you. You have to look at it from the outside as producers and stuff. I think we're really good at that. We're good at arranging our songs, coming together, listening to each other. We all parallel in thought, even though we come from these vast different genres, such as Mr. Bungle to Pantera to Metallica, just to Danny Elfman scores. We love it all, and so it all gets thrown into the blender. We all love it, and we all know how to arrange it, and we all know, when we're trying to polish a turd or when we have something really good.
And the thing is especially on this album, writing and recording it ourselves and producing it, we've all been faced with having to throw away, our pet or our babies. Like, I wrote this riff, and I absolutely loved it. And it turned into a really cool song, but it wasn't the best song on the album, and it didn't really add anything to the album that wasn't already there. And we didn't want a couple songs that sounded the same. We wanted each song to just kick your ass and be awesome. And it's hard to throw away a riff that you love, but I still think it'd be a great riff for kids to learn, and someday they will, I hope. And on this album, everyone was forced, like I said, to throw away something they love. He has one of my favorite solos he's ever written that it's going to be on a B-side. Didn't actually make the album, but the way the solo came out is he was just sitting there, trying stuff, and it's just this unbelievable solo, and it's almost a crime that it's not going to be heard on the album, but the song as a whole just, our singer had to throw away, songs that his voice just felt great and opened up. We're pretty rough on ourselves. And then just for good measure, we had to make sure and bum the drummer out too by taking out some of his favorite drum parts, because we're at equal opportunities in Avenged Sevenfold.
So yeah, a way that we kind of arrange stuff. There's a couple of different things that we do or whatever, but basically you'll have your chords or whatever, and then you will just do some stuff such as.
I'll start out, and then you kind of just come up with something, basically like an octave just splitting off and doing its own thing. It makes it really, gives it a nice texture, and it gives it more notes and makes the song way more interesting. So it's something we definitely do a lot. It's highly recommended. So I'll play something like.
Sometimes I like to have subtler lead lines and I've done it primarily in choruses, but you can do it anytime that you want or whatever. And it's just, some based on what's happening in the chord. You don't want to step on the singer's melody, and you usually want to keep it more motify, although sometimes in the past I've had just they were more lead lines within themselves, but it tends to get a little bit messy there, so you just kind of want to keep them simple.
I'll just start it and you come in whenever.
Something simple. I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want for anything.
It's kind of going along. It adds a lot of texture, makes the part much more interesting. And on top of it, like when we're in the studio, we could go in and on top of that, you could throw a duel on it, where you're just throwing a melody onto that, and then it gives it you have dueling guitars, and that's a great thing too. 1, 2, 3, 4.
As long as you got one guy in the band and that can do a little bit of theory, I wish it wasn't me, but sometimes it makes my job a little hard. But definitely, like, you have a minor chord or whatever, you got a D minor. That's probably the first inversion, I think, because it's built on it's got the minor third on top. It's good to know. And then with major, you go. Obviously, we write in minor. Some of my favorite guitar players of all time, probably number one as far as like just the metal and the feel of, and just being able to just be one with the guitar, would have to be Dimebag Darrell. I think that guy's just a phenomenal freak. He has unbelievable feel. He's created sounds from a guitar that nobody can do, just from a guitar and an amp. I'm talking about throwing some pedals down, and he just fucking can rape and pillage his guitar. Slash, one of the tastiest guys of all time.
It doesn't sound so good.
Well, I have experience. Are we talking about guitar? Yeah, he just, his melodic sense is absolutely brilliant. Let's see, I listen to a bunch of different dudes. And then there's the whole jazz world where I have almost forgotten about at this point in my life, but it was pretty much all that I wanted to do from 13 years old to about 21. Guys like Joe Pass, Frank Gambale, John Schofield, all those guys are just freaks, and their melodic sense is absolutely amazing. And so I kind of try to apply that to Avenged Sevenfold by just using flat fives or whatever, just throwing it up a little bit, and just kind of giving a different dimension to that. So that's where that comes from. Yeah, we do kind of a chromatic thing that we put a duel over, and it sounds pretty cool, And
that particular thing actually helped my playing a lot, because in a song he's doing a solo, and then we meet up halfway and do this chromatic, this duel, and I'm just doing the harmony to what he's doing, but it just has this amazing feel. Sounds great, and at first it was all new to me, playing rhythm. So it was my first kind of chance to do something, solo-esque, and this dual solo that happens in our song. But it really helped me to learn, to play faster, and it helped me with alternate picking by going up and down.
1, 2, 3, 4. Right here is, and I kind of like to switch up rhythms and stuff, so I kind of start off doing I believe those are 16ths into 32nd note triplets or 16th note triplets, whichever one. Hold on. So, and the same vibe goes up for the whole thing, you know, but you kind of keep the motif, and then I'm a motif kind of guy, and then doing something a little bit special at the end or whatever. So that's basically that one, you know. It's definitely got a motif. It's faster, and it doesn't mean just because it's faster that you just have to fucking play fast and not have something specially designed for it, or just be a little bit, you know, more creative with it.